Welcome back to the channel to some Biomutant. I guess I got this one. Hold on, I'm gonna get my coffee. Let's see, I get it here, I think. Let's see, is it this one? No, wait on. I forget what he is. I was just here though. Maybe it was this way. Up here. Oh wow, I was just in here. Oh, that's not that way. Oh, so. So I'm guessing it's gonna be outside. Oh yeah. Doo -doo -doo. My girlfriend said he looks like a squirrel. I'm done. Oh, what? I'm on my broken controller, so if it just randomly starts turning like that, that's why. Stop, controller, god damn. I was about to go get my other controller. What are you doing, controller?
That's a resource totem. A monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. It's the chug yard. This is all about you. Whether you succeed or fail, it's on you. The right key could open this. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like. Well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Good hit.
I might have to get a different gun. I might have to take out my hair and go, oh my god. What the fuck has it done?
Now that's a flesh wound. Youch! You hurt bad. Umpa-Bonker's busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Blasting everything to bits. So eager to die. At least the rain doesn't burn too bad. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. Let's see. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He hopes you remember that one time he taught you to upcycle, and hopes you've had some use for it over the years. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Lupa-Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo understands you still have strong feelings, but urges you to keep them under control. You've witnessed firsthand what it'll lead to.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Is how you shine light at the dark.
Seriously, don't doubt the dark. Oh,
I'm so proud of you for doing the right thing.
Can't believe you let that loser sway you.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Supposes that's all any of us can do. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. Figures everyone does. They seem unusually dedicated to finding them. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone. So you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. That's what he decided to call it after he saw it for the first time. It's big and fluffy. That's accurate enough. If you can see past the blue color, that is. It's beyond late. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Gulp in some air. This dyeing business is starting to get repetitive.
Hold on.
Nothing but dead air here. Someone locked it solid.
That's nice. So it's gotta be something down here.
Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. The stars never give enough light.
Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Try one more time.
This could be the beginning of the end of everything. That's the leftover you're looking for.
Give me a second.
Keep to the straight and narrow. For being cut off from the surface, this isn't too bad.
I'm finding a lot of stuff. Cool. Trying to figure out what to do.
Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it.
trying to figure out how to get to him. Or over there. I'm guessing it's him.
He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. Something he devised to salvage valuables from the ground. There are usually spots hidden beneath puddles of oily goo where you can use the net. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. Gizmo thinks he's a little peculiar, but very knowledgeable. He has the ins and outs of all monster and creature whereabouts. The Grease Monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Every day comes with a new chance to save the world. Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to.
Inmo Diava.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be.
Amanka.
Says he's a monster haunter. The best you'll ever see. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. When it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies.
Vaksa u inta badal. Badam wakumo nash vaya.
Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot.
Why adfunu jabe?
Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead.
Papa Zulu inta badam farujudu.
Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones.
Why adfunu jabe?
Says they keep the monsters away. He needs them closer, not farther.
Will she like book?
But enough of that, right?
Will she like book? Seda in yach.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed.
But say.
He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output.
O waxu kakwana. Zernin enough turnin.
Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short.
Mishaku hare zavania?
Says as big as they are, the world is bigger. To find where they are, you need to see where they've been.
Mishaku hare zavania?
Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big.
Echine ahai arin kashumai.
There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes.
Ahai arin kashumai. O fukshu isku alehan yoshkaba.
Says you stick to the haunting and shots present themselves later.
What the fuck? This.
Finding some thick air might be wise soon.
I did not know that would happen. Can't move this arm since I know. Okay, fuck it.
Take it as easy as you
Shit.
can.
I'm a flying machine. Okay.
Wait, it's the Scrip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Crack open that tin can and escape.
I'm sure there ain't anything over here I can grab.
Definitely not open. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death.
Anyways, let's see. Go in here. Direct. Oh shit.
Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. This story needs a hero.
I was waiting for a beat. I thought it was gonna be water, not fucking oil. But water. Water.
Got it. Good one. You need to line up the switches so they match.
That one.
Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Can't wait to use that on something.
Quick work for a shiny blade.
Ooh.
Treasure this while you can. All things end. Imagine that. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. No air left for whining about it. Finders keepers. Good for protecting your noggin. Watch out for you.
What the hell?
Will the
Oh, I was like,
dawn
why can't I
never
move?
come?
I'm stuck in the damn rock. I'm gonna make a Discord. If I make a Discord, let me know who would join. So y'all can talk to me and tell me what y'all want me to play.
He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. That's the special weapon he made to store the scripts in the Mekton. It will be strong enough to launch them at the Jumbo Puff. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now, otherwise he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. He asks you to not even think about taking on the Jumbo Puff on foot. You'll need the Mekton to do the job, take his word for it. There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. He got the idea to build the Mekton when he found a big crate containing the metal frame for something Toxanol had named an exoskeleton. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says they should spend more time outside gathering resources. Wants to know what good you think you can really do in a world this messed up. We'll be around when you return. Gizmo wants to help if he can. You need to help Gizmo defeat the Jumbo Puff before it destroys the West Route. Ever ridden a goo glide? You should find Goop at the Subnautica station. Wishes you goodbye. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Hopes to see you again soon. The dark's good for sneaking up on things.
I don't know if this is the right way. Hopefully it is.
Ooh. Looks like wholesome. A tidy little cave. You're in pain. That was fun.
I'm not die that fast.
This
Your chest is squeezing.
What the fuck? It disappeared. Let's see. Oh, God, there it is. That was weird.
Bugs everywhere.
Run as long as you can.
Hey, well, it ain't that way.
Nice shot. Keep those stompers on the straight and narrow.
Oh, hell no. That thing ugly as a motherfucker.
That's a jumbo puff with an appetite. Ain't no fuzz. Better put an end to it before it ends our world. Uh-oh. The jumbo puff is kicking it up a notch. It's time for an electric performance. couple of more hits and it's a fried circuit board. Bad feeling about this. It goes all the way down to the stomach. Start like a snack, and you'll end up with a ride down the intestinal canal. That's too close to the better pumped out than flushed down. Don't let it happen again. Wow, what a super-sized wormwimp. That must be as big as they come. You see, it's what's on the inside that counts. That meaty Taurus is already offbeat. End it. Taurus is pumping at half a beat. You know what to do. Guessed it would go down with a throw-up. Can it really get any better than that?
Damn.
He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out of Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. You're good-hearted enough, so you'll have no problem getting him to share the information with you. He trusts you know where to find Out of Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed.
Give me a second. Come on. Okay.
All the goose are gonna head SS.
Says you were a quiet kid and is happy to see you working toward progress. The trees in the forest smell so strong.
Let's see, let me go this way. I'll level up.
You can take all the hits.
Yeah, that's a far walk. Hold on. Well, looks like I'm walking because there's no fast travel. Hell.
You're injured. Chop it up. Well placed.
What the
Much
hell?
better. The sun is high.
The sun. What? Okay. How is the sun high? Oh shit. Come here, I'm trying to catch you.
This area is blazing hot. You'd better have something that'll keep you cool if you're going in.
Well, good thing I'm not. Ooh, got a backpack.
Looks snug.
Now I look like a homeless man. Yay. Take that.
Gah, that's just awful. Watch your step around here. spot that fixer-upper? Got to be something worthwhile in it. Ah, go get on it and run fast as you can. You run like the wind.
That's all I get. Anything up here?
So many critters make... Thinks the end of the world is a lot quieter than it should be, especially without their best pals. There's a string plonk not too far from here. Would make beautiful music. Seems like a shame to let a decent string plonk sit around unplayed. Claims it was his pal Funk Punk, the best plonk man in the land. Maybe if you listen for the string plonk, you might hear someone playing it. Or not. Once you find the string plonk, be careful with it. Aren't too many of those around. Funk Punk's been missing so long. Hope you find it. Figures someone would pay you for it. Winners get to keep moving. This is called suburbia, a place to get away from the city stink. Running low. Shot through. Head on. Personal.
Trying to get my melee.
Getting jacked.
Get that melee damage up.
So many creatures doing so many things during the day.
Gear, craft. Just found a way to go faster.
The yerp fields, where the echo of your actions resounds. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent. where the twigs are existing species, and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. Let's see.
Oh, time map somewhere. Pee on. That was weird.
It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above.
What? Let's see.
Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. He promises he'll be there for you. Just come talk to him beneath the tree if you're feeling lost. Out of Date says there's a time for everything. And now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, Records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled. Out of Date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head southeast as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He wonders what's on your mind. He says you really need to go see Goop as soon as possible. He wonders what's on your mind. Hopes to see you again soon.
Oh hell no, there's no way I'm walking up with. There's somewhere up we were fast traveling. Well, it looks like I gotta walk all the way fucking there. That's stupid.
Let's see.
No, side fast travel. That's a lot better than 2,000 miles. Or whatever. Hopefully I'm going the right way.
Sure is a shame when there's a forest fire. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. Gotta protect that noggin.
No, I just need a better jacket. What, chest piece, what you wanna call it? Hold on, that's, let's see, gear. Why is that one the best?
Let's see. Don't see that every day. Should protect your legs.
Yes. Oh, so they're the same pants. What the hell? Are you getting hats?
The wind can get stronger here due to the surf. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there.
There's an entrance up here because the. That entrance was up here. Found it. Most likely. Pee on this motherfucker.
Let's see.
Hold on.
Treasure this part of the land while you can.
Langu. Azitawa.
Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He understands why you seek revenge, but he doesn't think you realize how that'll make you feel once you claimed it.
See? On my side. Go, dog, go.
Only the dark Monarch speaks in absolutes. Well, not only.
Oh, get snuffed, Light.
Let the light shine!
Light eventually burns out. Just saying.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Best to stick close to the shore then, where the goo isn't so deep. That's like being close to your friends who can help when things go wrong. Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf. Never seen any brighter. Shine on. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit. So you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. It's not that it won't keep your head above the surface, but it needs improving to carry you across the thick goo out by the Porky Puff. How many days like this do you think the world has left? Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Cutting edge. Itchy trigger finger. Wow. Stay away from that biohazard. You'll want to wash yourself off for a month. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. There are things out there waiting for you. He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. That's where he bobs. Gulp refuses to move from that barge, despite the fact it makes him burf. Goop's not sure, though, if it's the surf sickness or the radium syrup that causes it. Fine time to be outside. Welcome to the surf archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Pockbur, a prime village. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. Yeah. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Points out that he's hungry too, but always thirsty for more. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, Bad? Not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Yeah. Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Yeah. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the Myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Yeah. Something calm and soothing for your belly. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportional to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. Figures the real problem is finding something to drink. He wants you to know he has other interests, too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching pippies flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. They're better at floating than flapping, so you should be able to net a few without growing yourself a pair of wings. Gulp tells you to not forget those quacks. They won't squeeze themselves. Dismounted. Yeah. The future is in your hands, so take care of it. No one can swim this fast. The Quack Hollow. It's just loonly. Upsy. Locked up tight. This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing. It's starting to add up. Flex up. Time to roll out the big guns. That's the good stuff. Needs no ammo. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up bristles like the hair of one electrified. That's shutting good. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Nothing better than a day on surf. Sharp. The world is full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. The vendor says you can browse his goods anytime during opening hours. The doors here are always open for a potential customer. That worked out. Should cover up your most important parts. What?
Vopri pariknam mayokol kol mane. Yo daldalit.
Thinks you could trade your old things for new. The end is coming to the world, and everything else. Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. It's troubling that the rivals believe their reign of terror is actually going to lead to a better world. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Wonders if Ankati can find some war air so they can catch up with the Myriad. Wishes you goodbye. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Peddler is eager for you to have a look at the wares. Won't You made it through another long night. metal ride. Ready to live at your own speed. It's all about destiny. Yours, mine, the entire world's. That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. You need to help Goop defeat the Porky Puff before it destroys the southeast route. Says you look like someone with good intentions. Says you should take it easy. He seems happy to talk. Excited to meet someone with a bright aura. You're a rare sort these days. It's a good thing you and the Jagni tribe are a little different. Opposites are complementary to each other. The hunter can't exist without the prey. Hopes to see you again soon. He seems happy to talk. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Let's see. Don't let the day pass you by. See that broken boat over there? Looks like it still floats. That's not mist in the air. It's the porky-puff nibbling bug. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down out-of-date's leg. Hook the boom ball and throw it beneath the puff. down again. The goo. Unleash the quacks. Ain't that cute? A two-bit playing with quacks. You feel it. It's the brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. A death worthy of a hero.